Welcome back, students. In our previous session, we have seen the basics related to the files. We said files we are storing on the secondary storage device to maintain the data permanently, and different applications associated with the files, the advantages of files, all these things we have discussed, and the type of operations what we are performing when we are dealing with files, that also we have seen. In today's session, we will move forward and we will see what other concepts we have to discuss inside files. Okay, we said files, they are of two types, text files and binary files. The difference between text file and binary files, what advantage we will have if we go with the binary file. We said the data will be in unreadable form, and so we will get the security when we are talking about the binary files. So, the different types of operations, whenever we are using files, there is a need, if the file is not existing, there is a need to create the file, and if the file is already existing, just open the file. After opening, we need to perform the read and write operations. Once the read and write operations are performed, then you must close the opened file. Okay, that is also needed. So, working with files, yes, when we use files in our program, what sort of methods we use, how we open the file, how we process the content to the file, that is reading and writing, and after performing the operations, how we close the file, all these things we will discuss one by one. So, here if you read, when working with files, you need to declare a file pointer. Generally, these files, they will exist on the secondary storage, we said. So, whenever you are working with files, what you have to do, you need to shift that file to the primary memory, and after shifting, after shifting the file into the primary memory or shifting the content into the primary memory, you need to maintain a file pointer so that it can be accessible from the application. So, the pointer is nothing but it is the reference point, or it is the access point to the file, we can say. With the help of that pointer only, we can access the content which is there inside the file. So, declaration of a pointer to the file is required. Okay, this declaration is needful in order to do the communication between the file and the program. Whatever program we are writing, where we are using the file. So, in order to have the communication between the program and the file, we are using this file pointer. And the syntax, if you see, when you are declaring the file pointer, we are writing FPTR. This is the identifier to the file pointer. FPTR, what we are taking over here, this is the identifier. Identifier is nothing but it is just a name to the file pointer. And what is this file we are writing, that we are writing over here, FILE? The file over here is the structure. It is a predefined structure defined inside stdio.h header file, where it is defined under stdio.h header file. A structure, a predefined structure is defined, and that structure is file only. Okay, file, FILE. So, it is a structure, it is a predefined structure under stdio.h header file. Okay, now this star, what we are using, why we are using this star, what does this star indicates? This is nothing but the declaration of a pointer, isn't it? This is declaration of a pointer. So, this FPTR will become a pointer of type file, so capable of holding the address of a file. So, this FPTR, whenever we are saying a pointer, what a pointer will do? A pointer can hold the address. So, FPTR which we have created here, it can hold the address. Address of what? Address of a file. Address of file it can hold. Okay. So, in detail we will see, when we write the program, in detail we will see how we store the address of an opened file into this FPTR, and using this FPTR, how we can manipulate, how we can perform read, how we can perform write operations onto the file, all those things we will see. Okay. So here file is a predefined structure defined in stdio.h library. Okay. Asterisk after the file type, it indicates that the FPTR is a pointer variable that contains the address of stream of file. Okay, the stream is nothing but an opened file. Stream of file is nothing but it is an opened file. So FPTR, why we are using? In order to hold the address of an opened file, we are using this FPTR. Okay. So then here you can see the fopen function. How this fopen function, it is a predefined function under stdio.h header file only. So we no need to write any code for this fopen function. Directly we call that function and make use the functionality of that function. We are not writing any definition for that function. Remember this one, as it is a predefined function. Okay. So using this fopen, what we are doing? Opening a file. So both for creating and for creation as well as for edit. For what we are opening the file for, in order to add some content, in order to delete some content, whatever type of operation you want to perform, in order to read some content, whatever type of operation you need to perform, you have to perform on an opened file, and that file opening we are achieving with the help of fopen function. Just read this. Opening a file is performed using the library function under this stdio.h header file, and that function name is fopen. Okay, fopen is the function name, and where this function is available inside the stdio.h header file, it is available. Okay, and the syntax, if you see in the previous slide, I have shown you the syntax for creating the file pointer. Okay, now we are seeing how we can open the file, okay, and how we can store the address into that file pointer. So simply initialize that file pointer with fopen function call. So this fopen, from here to here, it is the fopen function call. Here we need to put the semicolon at the end. Okay, this is the function call, and this function call will take two things as arguments, two things as parameters. The first thing is the path. Path in the sense, the name, the complete location of the file, where you want to create or where it is existing. In case of file already existing, it will supply the complete path. In the case if the file not existing, then it will create that file under the location which you have specified. Okay. So the path, it will indicates two things. Check for a room. Under that, if the file is existing, just open it. If the file is not existing, create it and open it. Okay, that creation, once again, it depends on the mode which you are supplying. So mode is nothing but in what mode you are opening. Whether you are opening a file to create, whether you are opening a file to read, whether you are opening a file to append. We have different modes of operations that we will see in our next slide. Basic modes are three only. Remember this one. Basic modes are three. From these three, we have another three combinations. Combination modes we can say. So basic modes only three: create, read, append. And using these three, we have another three. Okay, read plus, write plus, and append plus. What are these? We will see in our next slide. Okay, so path to the file, that is nothing but file to open. The path we have to specify, and along with that, we need to specify the mode of operation that we want to perform. Two things we have to supply to this fopen function. So if these two things are correct, whatever parameters or whatever arguments you have passed over here, if they are correct, okay, then what will happen? That particular file will be opened. Inside the main memory, that particular file will be opened. Opening the file is nothing but bringing the file. The file will brought from the secondary storage to the primary storage. Okay, bringing the file from secondary storage to primary storage is nothing but opening the file. The file gets opened. Now you can perform the read and write operations. And how you can perform? Once the file is open, we can't see it, isn't it? Because we are doing this through an application. So even if the file is opened, we can't see it. So how we perform the read and write operation, in the sense with the help of this reference point, access point, your pointer, which is holding the address of that opened file now. So using this FPTR, now we can perform all of the operations. Like if you want to read some content from the file, you can do it. If you want to write some content to the file, that also you can do it. Okay. So using this FPTR only, we will perform all those operations. Okay. Then we have, yes, here we have given an example for that one. See, this is the path, this is the location of the file. Okay. So C program, inside E drive, C program, new program.txt. So this file I want to open, new program.txt file. If it is existing, I want to open in write mode. That means I want to perform some write operation. If the file is not existing, then this write mode, what it will do? It will create a new file and it will open it for us. Only if the mode is write, it will create a new file and it will open for us to write. Okay, only in case of write operation this will happen. If the file is not existing, a new file will be created. But if you are doing the same in read mode, if you are doing the same in read mode, if the file is not existing, it will generate an exception. It will generate an error. It will give an error if the file is not existing. Only in case the file is existing, you can perform the read mode. You can perform the read operation. But write operation, it is unlike. Write operation, if the file is existing, it will open for writing. If the file is not existing, then a new file will be created and it will be opened for writing. You have to remember this difference. It is very, very important difference. Okay. So example we have seen. Let's suppose the file new program txt does not exist. The same thing here I am writing. I mean, in this point I have written, if the file new program.txt, if it is not existing in the location what you have specified. The location what we have specified is under C drive, under C programs. Okay, in that location, if the file is not existing, then what will happen? Then the first function creates a new file. It will create a new file with that same name, with new program.txt. It will create the new file with name new program.txt and opens it for writing, to perform the write. Okay. To send some data to the file. Writing is nothing but sending some data to the file. To send some data to the file, it will open it. Okay. As per W mode, write mode. We call it as W mode or write mode. Okay. The writing mode allows you to create and edit. That is nothing but override. Okay. Override the contents of the file. See, if the file is not existing, it is creating a new file and adding the new content. Okay, if the file is already existing and if you are opening the file in write mode, then there is one more issue. Okay, if the file is already existing, it is having some data and you are opening that file in write mode means whatever data you are having previously, whatever data you are having before opening the file in write mode, all that data will be overridden. Overridden in the sense, overridden in the sense whatever data it is having previously, that will be deleted and only the new data will be added. Remember this one, only the new data will be added. Okay, these are all the modes of operations what we have inside files concept. The first mode, the read mode, R mode. What it will do? It will open the file for reading purpose. Okay, it will open the file for reading purpose. So meaning of the mode here I have given, and during inexistence of file, if the file is not existing, then what will happen? That I have given, that description I have given over here. Okay. So if you read it, the read mode opens an existing file for reading. The file marker is positioned at the beginning of the file as we are reading. As we are performing the read operation, the file marker will be positioned. So there will be a file marker. Okay. Let us assume this as your file. Okay. If this is your file, always what will happen? You will have the content like this inside the file and there will be a file marker, the cursor, okay, which is helpful in what we call in editing the file's content. Generally, when you open a notepad file and if you perform the editing operation, we can see that cursor. But if an application is opening the file, it cannot see that content. So how it will treat the content, how it will read and how it will write the content in the sense based on the position of the file marker. So if you are reading, if you want to perform the reading, no matter where the cursor is, cursor's location is. Okay, if you as a human being, if you are reading the content, no matter where the cursor location is. But for a computer, if it is reading, it can't see the content of a file, like how we are seeing with the visual ability, isn't it? So it can't see the content of the file. So what it has to do, it has to position the file marker at the first location so that it can read the file content character by character. So that it will do over here. So not only it is opening the existing file in read mode, but also it is positioning the file marker at the first position. Okay, file marker will be positioned at the beginning of the file, at the first position, first character position in the file, so that you can perform the read operation on that file. Okay, so if the file does not exist, then you can't perform the read operation, isn't it? So the fopen function returns a null pointer. Null is nothing but nothing, nowhere to point, nowhere to point. If the file does not existing, and if you are opening the file in read mode, simply the fopen function fails to open that file and it will return the null pointer so as to indicate the failure of the file open function. Okay, to indicate the failure of that fopen function, what it is doing, it is returning a null pointer. Then we have the write mode, W mode. The write mode opens a file for writing. To write something to a file, the file will be opened. So when you are performing the write operation, where the marker should be, where the file marker should be, the file marker should be at the end of the file. Okay, so that is over here. It is an error to read from a file opened in write mode. Okay, you can't simply read. You can't simply read. I mean, if you want to read, what you have to do, that also we will see when we do the stuff practically. Okay, and remember, the file marker will be positioned at the end of the file, so you can't perform the read operation on a file which is opened in write mode. So in order to read from a file which is opened in write mode, that also we have, I mean, further modes we have, there we will discuss. Okay, so simply remember, if it is opened only in write mode, we can't open the file, I mean, we can't perform the read operation. We can only perform the write operation, and the file marker will be positioned at the end of the file. Okay, if file exists in write mode, if file exists, then what will happen? Its content will be overwritten. Whatever content you are having previously in that file, those content will be deleted, and whatever content you are sending now, those content will be added. Previous content will be overridden. Okay, if the file does not exist, it will be created. Whatever name you have suggested to create, a new file will be created with that same name. If the file does not exist, a new file with that same name will be created. Okay, then we have the append mode, A mode. Okay, append mode we have. So that append mode, A mode, also opens an existing file for writing. Okay, the difference between the previous mode, write mode, and this append mode, A we have to put. Append mode in the sense, A we have to put. So the difference between W mode and A mode is that the content overwritten. Okay, so this append mode, if the file does not exist, let us take the example, if the file does not exist, then it will create a new file like your write mode. It will create a new file. But if the file already exists, in write mode, what will happen? If the file already existing, the content will be overwritten. Here it will not be. The content will not be overwritten. If the file is opened in write mode, sorry, append mode, the content will not be overwritten, and the file marker will be positioned at the end of the file, and it will start writing the content from that point. So all the content will be appended. Appended in the sense, already existing content should be there, and the newly added content will be added at the end of the file. Remember this one. So in append mode, the content will be appended, unlike in the write mode where the content is overwritten. So next, the three what we call customized modes, we can say. They are not the basic modes, they are the customized modes. These modes are dependent on the basic modes. Whatever basic modes we have discussed, they are three only, and further R plus, W plus and A plus, they are the customized modes. Okay, depending on this W, R, A, we have created these customized modes. Then R plus in the sense, open both reading and writing. The file is open for both reading as well as writing. If the file does not exist, fopen will create, fopen will return null. So because R plus we are saying in R plus mode, the primary mode is read. Even though it is a customized mode, the primary mode is the read mode. So in read mode, whatever happens in the non-existence of file, the same thing happens in R plus mode as well. If the file is not existing, it will not create, rather it will return null pointer to indicate the failure of fopen function. Remember this one. Then we have the W plus mode. Here the primary mode is W. So here also in W plus mode also you can perform both reading and writing. You can perform both. But here if the file does not exist, as W mode, write mode is the primary mode in W plus mode. If the file does not exist, what will happen? Yeah, a new file will be created. It will be created. If the file does not exist, a new file will be created. And if the file is already existing, its content will be overwritten. Its content will be overwritten. And you can also perform the read operation onto this file. Remember this one. Then we have the A plus mode, append plus mode. Okay, append plus mode. Here the append mode is the primary mode. So this is also open for both reading as well as appending. Append plus mode is reading as well as appending. If the file does not exist, it will be created, as the primary mode is append mode. And what happens in append mode, if the file does not exist, a new file will be created. Here also the same thing. In append plus mode, if the file does not exist, it will be created. Then we have, here the file marker. We need to discuss about it as well. The file marker. The file marker. File marker is a logical element. You can't see this one because you are opening the file with the help of an application. You can't see the file marker location. We just have to imagine where the file marker is and how it is moving forward and backward. Just we have to imagine. Okay. So it is a logical element in the file structure that keep track of the current position in the file. So how this file marker is helpful in the sense, in order to know the position where you are performing the read and where you are performing the write operation, in order to know the position of the your cursor inside the file, this file marker is helpful. Okay. Then in order to perform the read and write operations, we have two different functions. The first function is the fprintf function, which is helpful in performing the write operation to a file, and then we have the fscanf function, which is helpful in performing the read operation from the file. Here fprintf is for writing and fscanf is for reading. Remember this one. This is for reading and this is for writing. Okay. To a text file. So generally this fprintf, fscanf you can perform to the binary file also, but here we will see how to perform this one only to the text file. Okay. There are some different set of functions we have in order to deal with binary files that we are not discussing. Our major concern is on text files only, because in your syllabus if you see, they are not asking you to discuss the concept in detail. Rather they mentioned that to have an introduction only to this files concept. Okay. So what we are doing, fprintf function for writing we are using and fscanf function for reading we are using. So the two input output functions, fprintf and fscanf, these two are the input output functions. These input output functions, how we use with our standard input and standard output. So printf function always interacts with your standard output, that is std out, standard out, and your scanf function, it will always interact with the standard input, stdin. Okay, standard in and standard out. What is standard out? Your terminal or your console where we are printing the output, terminal. And what is standard input? Your keyboard, from where we are reading the input. Okay, these two things, from where we are reading the input, that is standard input, and to where we are writing the output, that is terminal, that is standard output. Okay. So the printf function will receive the data values from program and converts them to text streams to be displayed on the monitor. So generally from the program, if you want to print something on the output screen, we use the printf function. In that same way, the scanf function, what it will do, will receives the text streams from the keyboard and converts them into data values and stores them into our program. From the keyboard to the program, we use scanf function. From the program to the output screen, we use printf function. Here I have given the description about these two things. Okay, printf function as well as scanf function. Okay, then these two functions are used only with the standard input and standard output. So your keyboard, it is already I said it is standard input, and your monitor, it is standard out. Okay. Yeah, we have some standard libraries defined inside our C's libraries. So they are yes, in C, standard library defines two more general functions, that is fscanf and fprintf. They can be used with any text stream. So unlike as your standard input, it is used with, unlike your scanf function, which is used only with the keyboard, and unlike your printf function, which is used only with the standard output, that is monitor, these two functions, fscanf, fprintf, they can be used with any text stream. Any text stream in the sense not only with the keyboard and monitor, they are also helpful in interacting with files. So using this printf scanf, fprintf, fscanf, you can interact with keyboard as well as with monitor and as well as with files. You can interact with these three things. Okay, keyboard, monitor as well as files. So previous functions only with keyboard and monitor, but now these set of functions with all keyboard, monitor as well as files. Remember this one. Here I have written standard input, standard output or files. Three things we can interact. Okay. So here the general input output functions and the standard input output functions, both the things we are discussing, how the syntax of general input output functions and how the syntax of standard input output functions is changed. Okay. The first set of functions here, they are the standard input output functions. So they are helpful in interacting with only the standard input output devices. So your scanf function, it is helpful in interacting with only the keyboard. And the syntax we know. First we need to put the control string, which is having the conversion codes, and then we need to pass the data values. Okay, control string is nothing but it will have two things, regular string plus conversion code, isn't it? Conversion codes. So like if you are reading integers, you put percentile D. If you are reading characters, percentile C, like that, percentile D, percentile C, like this we put. What are these things? They are conversion codes. We call them as conversion codes. These conversion code along with the regular string we put inside the control string, and then we put the data values. Okay, if you are using printf function, here also same thing, we put control string as well as data values. Okay, so this is about the standard input output functions, standard printf and standard scanf. But when it comes to the generalized general input output functions like your fprintf, fscanf, as they are helpful in reading not only from the keyboard, in interacting not only from the keyboard and monitor, but also with the file, isn't it? So for that, what we have to do, we have to pass three things now. Here we are passing only two things, that is control string and data values, but over here we pass one extra parameter, that is stream pointer. Stream pointer, it may be your standard stream or it may be a file. The stream pointer we have to pass over here. The stream pointers associated with keyboard is stdin. Stdin for keyboard stream pointer. So if you are reading from the keyboard, here you put stdin, and if you are reading from a for fprintf, if you are passing the output to the monitor, then what we have to do, we have to put the stream pointer as std out. Okay, like this. And If you are reading the same thing, if you are performing read and write operations to a file, then put the file pointer. File pointer, whatever file pointer you have created inside your program, that file pointer you need to pass, and this is for file. We are doing this for file. In case of keyboard, put standard in. In case of monitor, put standard out. But in case of a file, if you are performing read write operations to a file or from a file, then go for file pointer concept. Here you need to put the file pointer so that you can read, and remaining rest of the thing is same. Conversion codes, control string, same like your standard functions, and the data values also same like your standard functions. Only thing which is changing is the stream pointer. The first argument, the first parameters to these functions is the stream pointer, and it is specific. Okay. There are some character input output functions. Character input output functions also we have, that we will see in our next session hopefully. Thank you very much, students.